Just when the entire world was hoping for calm after a fragile ceasefire announcement, the tension in the Gulf has once again turned explosive and unpredictable. Ladies and gentlemen, fresh reports suggest coordinated missiles and drone attacks hitting parts of the United Arab Emirates and Qatar, shaking the entire region that was already on the edge of fear and uncertainty. Well, what was supposed to be a pause in this conflict, it now looks like increasingly unstable situation. Well, the tension unfolds against the backdrop of a ceasefire framework linked to efforts announced by the US President, Mr. Donald Trump. But instead of silence in the skies, what people witnessed, it was interception alert, emergency responses, and sudden burst of firepower in the air. Well, the situation escalated rapidly, leaving the authorities scrambling to assess the scale of damage and prevent further threat. In fact, in Abu Dhabi, air defense systems reportedly intercepted the incoming missiles and drones. However, despite these interceptions, a fire broke out at a Habshan gas facility, triggering a massive emergency response. Firefighters, security team, emergency services, they all rushed to the site as authorities urged residents to remain indoors and rely only on official updates. Even though large-scale damage, it was contained, the psychological impact across the city, it was immediate, it was intense. And at the very same time in Doha, similar alarms were triggered as air defense systems intercepted the incoming threat over Qatar. But in a disturbing development, falling debris, it reportedly struck a residential area, injuring 4 people, including a child. Emergency teams were deployed quickly, hospitals were placed on high alert, and neighborhoods they were secured as investigation it began into the incident. What makes this whole situation even more alarming is the timing here. A ceasefire is supposed to bring stability, reduce fear, open the door to negotiations, but instead, look what happened. The region is witnessing continued interceptions and fresh incidents that are blurring the line between peace and escalation. Well, officials across both the countries, they have now heightened security measures, activated their air defenses and urged the calm here. But anxiety on the ground, it continues to grow. Now, the bigger question, what exactly is happening in the skies over the Gulf? Are these isolated attacks slipping through fragile defenses or a sign that the ceasefire is already breaking down before it can even take hold? Because one thing is becoming increasingly clear. In this region, even a pause in the war, it does not always mean peace.